Welcome to the Isle Chat podcast with me, Beth,
Josh,
and Ryan.
This podcast is all about exploring the big questions, the small moments, and everything in between.
Whether you're stuck at the shops, in traffic, or just looking for some inspiration, our chat is here to keep you engaged.
It's time to talk, connect, and find meaning in those everyday moments.
Welcome to the Isle Chat.
We're back.
We are back.
Yeah, so obviously for the people who are listening / watching, they haven't seen this disconnect, but yous haven't even been here for the last 2 weeks, which is made for a very lonely spot, this little room, while everyone's been sending in all the conversations and questions and what about this and what about that. Who's been holding it all down? Hey.
Give him his due.
Yeah, thanks,
Give him
mate.
his due.
Thanks. Little pat on the back for me. But yous look lovely and sun-kissed, both of yous, so it was well worth it by the looks of it.
Thank you very much. It's been a nice 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
But since that, no, it's funny. Since the last episode, which was Beth's episode,
Yes.
it feels mad because
Shout out Little Beth illustration, by the way.
Shout out Little Beth. She was absolutely amazing as well, and the feedback after that podcast was insane.
Her podcast is doing really well.
Yeah.
It's one of the fastest climbers based on the analytics. I'm not even just making that up.
No, the actual stats prove that.
It is.
But it feels weird because there's been like so many weddings in between as well.
I know.
For us, for you.
Yeah.
And I think
It's a funny dynamic because for the people listening, they'll be like, hang on, so they've like, that's a long time ago for them, but it's actually only like 4 days ago for the
episode
outside
came out
world.
last week, but realistically we filmed that like nearly a month ago.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
So let's dive into the weddings then, because I want to get the guests
weddings
on,
of the
'cause they're gonna
weeks.
Yes.
Because that's how we like to say it, isn't it? When there's a few weeks past.
What was
You
your
wanna
first? I'll start, because I had Stacey and Jake
Stacey and
at
Jake.
Ashfield House.
Okay.
The photographer was Shauna, which I love working with. She's amazing. And yeah, the day was, I say this all the
Was
time.
it just you or you and Beth?
Just me on my own, this one. But what I loved about the wedding was her granddad walked her down the aisle, and she had that like bonding relationship with him, which I have like, a similar relationship with my granddad,
Yes.
which I thought was just really nice. And
Did you tear up?
do you know what? I didn't tear up.
Was you usually stone self?
No, but when I showed Beth the footage afterwards, because she wasn't at the wedding,
Yeah.
she said, "Oh my God, like they've got that forever now."
Yeah.
Like that moment.
I love that.
They did a reveal where she came down the stairs, and just before she came down the stairs, he was just stood facing the other way, and then when he turned around, it sounds mad. I just didn't assume he was gonna cry or bawl or anything like that, but he did, and his face proper like, you know, when some fellas sort of just like cover the face.
You can tell it meant a lot to him.
Yeah, he just let it go, and it was just a nice like coming together between them. And then another thing about their wedding, which was great, was the singing waiter. His name was Jack. I think he's from Undercover Singing Waiters, but he was on his own and he just hooked the roof off. It just changed it
By himself as well?
by himself.
That's rare, that.
So I always think
Usually
when
on a two, aren't
that's
they?
what I'm saying, when singing waiters are together, they have that like bond, then that bounce between like the chemistry. Not, and I don't want to say this, but I've seen over the times, you've seen ones where as in
Lack of chemistry.
it's
Let's
been
just
lack of
call it
chemistry,
that in a
where
nice
it's
way.
been a bit of an agency thing where like they go, you're at
You've
that
just
wedding
done it,
and you're
yeah.
on that wedding, and they
The
don't.
passion's not there.
They're not. Like I seen one where, should I say it?
No.
Controversial.
because we seen one that was really bad. But we won't go there.
No, but I've seen one where they had the phone up, the singing waiter had his phone up, and he was like had the lyrics.
While he was doing his like act. Nah, that's inexcusable.
And it was a song that even I knew. I was like, I know the
pick the songs. That
Make
you know,
your words up.
Little shout outs. I'm not telling you what to do, but pick the songs you know the words to.
We'll have to get singing waiters on, actually. They're a good guest.
Well, what's the names? The boss ones that we like.
Nathan and
and
Marcus. Yeah.
Not that we'll tell you who they are. And I mean, we can't blow the cover if we say.
We've had this mentioned before when we speak about like, are we blowing the covers? But I think they've to sell themselves, they've got to promote being an undercover waiter, hasn't they? So.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a great wedding to do. And then my next wedding, funny enough, was with you.
Chelsea and Chris.
Chelsea and Chris at
Boss
Hole's
day.
Foot.
Absolute boss day. I really loved that, you know. Yeah, Beth was present on that. I know. I think what we forget sometimes is that when you are doing the producing bit, we forget that she's like in the room because she's so busy at doing that. Plus, we don't want to overload your little brain there.
Yeah.
Still in holiday mood.
Don't you worry. But yeah, no, it was a boss day.
Yeah,
I think what I loved about that day was the trip on the way back was nice, which we'll get into that. But I like the fact that we arrived and the lads, like when we went to see them, were quite apprehensive, maybe because of like that we were Scousers and like they were from a different part of the country. I don't even know where they're from.
Cumbria?
Like, Cumbria and like that area. And there was that like, we don't know what we can do with these, but they were like laddie lads, weren't they?
Weren't they?
And I think immediately we just tried to like pull that rug from under them, didn't we? And then by the end, they were like, "Yous are so sound." You was like, we didn't know how yous would be, because sometimes, especially maybe the photographers around there, I don't know, or creators around there, are a bit like that, where they're like standoffish, and it's very like orders of the day, where we were just ourselves, weren't we?
Yeah.
And we loved that. So for all these people who are outside of the immediate Liverpool area, we blend in quite well with everyone, just to let you know.
Yeah, no, you are right in saying that, because it can be a little bit of a, I was going to say a language barrier, but our accent's really strong. And I had it yesterday, funny enough, which I'll touch on. It was a Manchester wedding.
Yours is really strong, by the way. It must be that. You live in Huyton.
Yeah, it's a Huyton thing, innit? Not a brutal thing.
No. Crosby,
yeah. But they were really Mancunians yesterday, to the point where when I do them type of weddings, I have to like, you know what I mean, mate? Try and tone it up, you know, blend in with them. No, I didn't really, but I just try and tone it down as much as I can. But I can never get away with it. Straight away, they go, "You from Liverpool?" I'm like, "Yeah."
You're in at the deep end, no matter what, aren't you? But no, but I loved their wedding day. I loved everything about it. I loved the amount of bridesmaids and grooms and that were there. Just made for a boss time, didn't it? Especially when we did the group shots on the steps.
Yeah,
later in the night was great. Probably the best. I said it on the night. No, it was. I said it on the night. That was probably the most successful sparkler shot that we've done.
Yeah,
because of the way that they were and the way that they were like hyping them for the bride and groom.
It's all coming back to me now. Then 2 weeks away.
Yeah,
sort of.
And then well, some of us have still been here. Yeah. But Chelsea and Chris themselves on the day and since have been nothing but lovely to us as well.
Yeah, and another thing that I remember from their wedding was the choir, because she was a school teacher.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, so
and the walk through the town.
Yeah,
like
it felt like
why didn't even think about that? It was like the mayor had come out, wasn't it, to like warn the street that there's a wedding on, and like the whole town came out. They all came out flooding out from the Greggs and everything, didn't need to see them.
It was proper. When I walked out the church and I was going to see her at the car coming in, because you were like following behind me.
Yeah.
I was a bit like, I haven't missed it. There was just crowds of people, and I thought, wow.
You know what it means? You know what it made, boss? You know when they walked out the church to the confetti throw, and there was like the procession. Yeah. The procession just went right the way through, like the town centre, didn't it? Right the way through to their wedding car.
And the church was that big. They should just let everyone go in and watch it.
I know. You might as well have.
Yeah.
They were all there anyway, so they might as well have. But boss wedding.
Yes.
And then I had Laura and Matthew at the Palm House.
Yes.
Right? Who
what?
ticked all the boxes. Like
tick that box, the square one.
I'd only ever met these people. Like sometimes you've met people previously, like if you've seen them at other weddings or whatever like that. I'd only ever known these through like online speech, and then obviously we do the consultation. It was the only like video based viewing of each other. And then on the day, the pair of them were just like amazing just to be around. Like they're infectious. Their personalities were like. Yeah, it was just really nice. But Laura, specifically, I need to do a little shout out to Laura, because Laura was one of those brides that did like a full transformation in herself. Not that she was looked at any certain way beforehand, but when she put her dress on, the dress that she chose, which is like quite a high neck thing. Our bradle friends will know what I'm talking about.
I was going to say,
because we know now, because we've wore them ourselves.
We know what it's like.
We know what it's like. But she looked like a postcard picture of like what a bride should look like on the wedding day, but like classic. She'd really like chose it for herself, and it was really good. But at the Palm House, which obviously is boss, I seen a couple of our mates, Birdie's photo booths thing, they were there. We were speaking to them all day. I couldn't really get away from them in the end, to be honest with you. But that was a nice thing, because I've got a job to do here, love. Come on, let me go. But I also bumped into and spent a lot of time with our mate Ali Weddings, singer.
Okay.
We've met a few times in passing before. But this time I had more than enough time to talk to her and her boyfriend / fiance. Congratulations, you two.
When are they getting married?
Next year, I think.
Okay.
Or the year after. Yes and no. So it'll be a destination for us, but it's more down south.
Have you been booked on, have you?
No. It's down south.
Okay.
They did mention about the thing. I think the original plan was that it would be abroad, but her family is like the mafia, and I feel like I can safely say that now because we're mates. But she's comes from like an Italian background, which you could probably guess.
Yeah. But
like I was saying to him, fucking hell, you might as well just make all your choices through here, because you'll be whacked by the end of it. But they were lovely, and we were like proper bros by the end of it.
Happy days.
Shout out to Ali.
And then I was jumping onto my Easter Sunday wedding, which was quite funny really, because I was working with Estelle, and Estelle had a second shooter that day.
Estelle Lace.
Estelle
I don't know her, yeah.
She had a second shooter, which happened to be you.
Funny how that works, isn't it?
So it was quite funny in the morning when you turned up and the bride said to me prior to obviously the wedding day, she's like, oh, I listened to the podcast, I love it and stuff. You know, it was just me on the day capturing it for her, and when you turned up as the second shooter, I think her head fell off. She was a bit like, what are you doing here?
She said, yeah. I know. That was nice, that was lovely, actually, because we didn't even know until like a few days before, did we? That it was us together. But we worked on together the day before that, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was Chelsea and Chris's day before.
Lovely. And our mate Estelle's obviously boss.
Great day. I'm trying to think what happened on that Rachel and Jay's day, which was like, to me, they just, when it come to just doing their portraits, when we went off with them too, and they were just like, he picked it up, and it was a bit like playful.
That was hysterical.
They said themselves, didn't they, like they didn't really like standing there being a bit cheesy, which I think a lot of our couples, when they book us, do understand that we're not that type where we're going to make them stand there and do anything that makes them feel a little bit uncomfortable or not themselves. So with them too, they were just like, oh, let's just go for it, let's have a laugh. And then after it, because I think they appreciated the way we that moment, how we addressed it in that sense. We let them just,
they did it themselves.
Yeah, we let them just do it themselves.
But we played into the banter of them, because immediately as soon as she went, oh, go on, carry me, going, no, I'm carrying you.
He's like, I'm not getting my shoes dirty.
Immediately, wasn't it? I'm not getting my shoes dirty in that grass, so you can keep yours clean, no way.
And then what was great about it afterwards, which doesn't happen at every wedding, and we don't really like always want it to happen, but they were like, we're buying you a drink now because you have just made that so special for us. That drink was boss, and then when they bought us the drink, which we had to like, they bent our arm for it. Really,
not that we drink at every wedding, by the way.
I know, but that's the thing. I was like, I don't want to drink. I'm driving home. They're like, you're having one. We're not settling for like you're not having one. And then as we were having a drink, she was like, pass us the camera because I want to take a photo.
That was a first. Yeah, that was a first.
I've got that on my phone of her taking the photo of us. So that's a cool moment.
Yeah,
and
she took a photo of us, so we became the bride and grooms ish.
Yeah.
In a way.
And then I'm going to try and speed the next few weddings up because I know, or I'm actually, you know what, I might save my next wedding for the next podcast.
Okay.
Because I want to get the guest on, and I know we've probably been
I want to mention the other one at least then that
I
had, which was Steph and Michael at the Bentley. Shout out Bentley. Shout out Ryan at the Bentley. I know he listens. Because not only was they a proper, like, I don't know if people call it a shotgun wedding, but they rearranged their whole wedding plans from getting eloping to Anglesey originally to get married, to getting married with a full-blown affair with like all of their friends and family with them in 4 months. Like literally switched it up completely. And like I only met them maybe about 3 weeks before the wedding day, and they were like, yeah, we want you, like, because we like the way you are, like you get us, you understand us, because I think they originally had someone who was from like around the Anglesey area, Welsh. He said when we've moved back to Liverpool, they just, not only would the trip for them be a bit crap, but like they just wouldn't get us and our family and our like dynamic. But the most family centric day that I can recall in living memory, because they'd found each other in love, and they had a celebrant who told this story. Obviously we know celebrants tell a story of how they met and all that type of stuff, and their story of how they became a couple was like, there was, I wouldn't say I was crying, but there was definite tears in my eyes.
Ryan,
which, you know, I am quite an emotional person anyway. But like the way that it's structured up, because these both had kids to separate relationships that were both, from what I gathered, and I hope they don't mind me saying, like quite toxic to each individual, and then that they found each other, and then they brought each of their kids together during lockdown, and they didn't know how it was going to work, how they would get on or not, but they talked about like the walks that they went on and stuff like that, and it was just brilliant. And then they'd had another little baby since then that was like completed their whole circle, and now
beautiful.
But they laughed loads about like how the cars that, because dad is a car salesman, you know, like at the cars that they always had were always like lovely flashy cars, and now it's always a minibus because there's that many of them. But they were boss. And then at that wedding,
yes,
our friends Apres,
yes,
who have been on us to try and get on this because we really want them on, and also who else did they say? Gary Barker. Like Gary Barker needs to be on this. That day Gary Barker did take the roof off. Yeah. Like, and I mean, we've seen
and
Gary.
Top off as well.
He didn't, to be fair, he kept his top on. But like, obviously we've seen Gary in full flow many a times, and we love what he brings to the occasion, because you can't help but be involved in his personality, and like, it's always a good affair. But on that day, and I've said this to him, so it's not offensive, he sang a rendition of Teddy Swing's
Who?
Teddy Swims. You know what Teddy Swims
I
is?
thought it was Teddy Swings.
I thought it was Teddy Swings until yesterday when Becky went, it's Teddy Swims.
Okay.
And I was like, it's not because it's a swing, he's a swing type artist.
I thought it was a country singer.
Well, he kind of is, but he's a plethora. But he does a rendition of his most popular song, which name I can't remember at the time, and it was incredible.
Yeah, like vocally.
Incredible. Like, honest to God, it stopped me. Like, normally when people are singing or the DJs are on whatever, we're just still doing our thing, aren't we? Getting the audience or the crowd or whatever, their reactions. I stopped in my tracks because I had to listen to him. And I got my phone out and was like recording because I felt like a proper fan. And I said this to him, and then literally about 2 days later...
Don't tell him that, because
I told him.
His head will just explode.
It's already exploded.
Yeah.
But like about 2 days later, I was driving here, funnily enough, and it was on the radio, first song that I put on. So I recorded it, like I like to do a little soundbite, and sent it to him. And I told him.
Thinking of you, lads.
I went, that's the first time, not that he's not a good singer, because we know he is, but that was the first time for me that I was like blown away. But he said, he went, the song just suits my tone and everything perfectly. So that's why it was so good. So shout out Gary.
Thanks. Nice one, Si.
Yeah, and then I did the second shooting at the weekend with Nicola and Martin, with our mate Stella again, which we won't go too much into detail of.
Yeah, save that. So I've got 2 in the bag to save.
We'll save that.
We'll save them.
Apologies to anyone who that felt like, that it just felt like a proper rambling on.
How long is that going for, Beth?
15 minutes worth of us just going,
standard,
that. But it's because we did so much since the last time that we were together. So it won't always be that way. But I thought we had to get it in there because the people we've seen, people we met. But we're on to our guests.
Hey.
Which I think... And it sounds like we say this every time.
You say this.
No, but it feels
Every
like... I think
time.
this time specifically, it feels like to me, this was like such a long time coming because of the way that our schedules worked and whatever like that.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
other factors involved. But for me, this was like a very anticipated one that I couldn't wait for because it was something that I didn't know a lot about. It is the nicest way to put it, and it'll make sense in a minute why. But
I recall you meeting the pair of them at a wedding fair.
yeah, well,
And
don't
tell
ruin
them-
me intro.
Oh, no, go on then. No.
I've done an intro before. I've done it purposely for this.
I know we sat there watching you.
And I'm
later.
not gonna ruin it. So make this a very bold point, by the way, because they've stressed this. Brother and sister team, not a relationship. Brother and sister team are, in my opinion, pioneering on the horizon towards the next evolution in our wedding world. Get on that. That wasn't off ChatGPT. I made that up.
Can I record this?
Yeah.
On my phone?
They continuously advance their brand, gaining clients faster than they can possibly accept them, which is obviously a good thing. And I actually said this before, just off air. It feels like to me, since we met, they've been continuously like gaining clients. When we met at the wedding fair, which you've just mentioned, which was at the Isle of Gladstone, shout out to Isle of Gladstone, I think from both of our opinions, maybe, there might have been a slight disconnect of how the other person would react to us, because I think the general world feels and thinks that we're in competition with each other. But, spoiler alert, it couldn't be any further from the truth by the way that they explain what they do, which I think what makes them so good at what they do. But after that, I'll just go back to my words here.
He's great.
Very quickly realised that far from the truth, and we became almost instant, in my opinion, instant friends. And we said that literally 10 minutes later, we went, have I literally only just met you today? Because it was so like real and so like quick that we just went, wow, I felt like I've known you for years and used to date yourselves before. But anyway, further ado, Bridal Sky. Sorry, went on a bit there.
I love that. I love that. I want to record that and just play that every morning. That can be the alarm.
Before you turn up to
The
a wedding,
first
play
words
that.
that I hear. Yeah.
Thanks. I tried my best. Took
Finally,
all
though.
of 2 minutes.
Thank you.
Yeah, finally we got yous on, because I know in the behind the scenes we've been like trying to get yous on for ages. So it's
Yeah.
nice to finally have yous in the hot seat.
Likewise.
Yes, we're excited to be here, and
Yeah.
thank you for inviting us on.
And
Yeah.
as I said before, we're driving down here, and it really is a pinch me moment for us, because we have looked up to you guys from the moment that we got
Yeah.
into
Don't
this
say that, don't look up
industry.
to us.
All right.
No, you've been in our periphery, and as Ryan said, prior to the Isle of Gladstone, we had this kind of, not a preconceived notion of the response that photographers have, but with Ryan turning up, we were like, oh my God, not only are photographers here, but we're the stall next to Ryan as well.
Literally right next to
And
each
how
other.
is that conversation gonna eventuate? But like you say, we hit it off, and I think it's just being genuine people, isn't it?
Well, we said that, didn't we? Like when we met that day, I think we realised that we had so much in common the way that we thought about things more than anything else, and like that it seemed to be quite faithful that we were paired next to each other, and like this being here, you being here today, was just an obvious next step in that like journey of our together plans. But
we agree.
The minute he met you, though, he told me all about it. He was like, oh my God, met this duo, Bridal Sky, like, you know, taking over the game basically in what you do. And I've never met anyone like obviously come across anyone like yourselves or anything like that, even on social media, because I don't know why, I feel like we're bad at terms of like searching for new things or like following new people. It's more if we cross paths, we go, oh my God, love yous, and then that's it. Then don't lose that connection. Like after today, probably just see.
You're not going to get rid of
it.
We're moving in next time.
So when he met yous and he told me all about it, I was just fascinated then by like what yous do, and I think the minute he said it, I was like, get them on the podcast because I want to just, you know, chew your ear off. I want to find out.
Listen,
I want to find out everything, like the origin story we always talk about.
Origin stories always about.
Finding out how you started off getting into it and like why you chose weddings. I know briefly we mentioned it off before, but give us a bit of an insight how you started.
So just before we go into how you started, what is, in your opinion, a wedding content creator? For the people who don't know.
That's a long title, isn't it? Wedding content creator, I think.
I don't think everyone calls it that. But what would you, because you landed, because I had a preconceived idea of what that was, but then you put it in a way that made so much more sense. Because I think what people think is, like, obviously I do photo, Josh does video, well, Josh and Beth does video, but you do.
Sat in the corner.
I know, yeah, sorry, Beth. I forget that you're there because the camera's in the way of you that people can't see. But you do, obviously, both of those things, and people would maybe assume that yous are like trying to like replace us in a way, but yous were like, that's not the case. So what is a wedding content creator?
I suppose just on what you've said, you know, we always stress that we are an additional service to a photographer and a videographer, and we preface every conversation with our couples that we don't replace the artistry that yous provide for a wedding.
There you go.
Which it is, you know. There's
what we are,
a lot that goes into videography and photography, and I suppose you know, we don't use pro bodies, so we're not shooting on an SLR, but we're essentially capturing those behind the scenes candid moments, which you're capturing candid moments as well, but I suppose it adds another dimension in us capturing those moments.
It's those really raw moments as well that you guys might not edit into your final cut, but we will provide. So, you know, you're getting that sort of overall you know, viewpoints really from the day in terms of the behind the scenes, which we're also getting to you guys as well. And a lot of the times yous will be in our shots and couples are aware of that, but it makes it so authentic, and so real and raw, and that's the moment that we're capturing. We're not going to say, oh well, that's a bit off there, or we're just going to edit that out. It's what we're seeing.
It's raw, isn't it?
It's just raw.
It's raw. The thing is as well, the wedding content creation has been happening for years because we're essentially like an additional guest. So our intention is to be incognito and capture these moments through the lens of a guest. Which, you know, has been happening. Anyway.
Oh yeah, God, You know, guests turn up and they have the phones and they use them. How do you feel now? Because there's so many questions.
Josh has got you now. That's it. I might as well just sit off now.
No, because I've got millions of questions going through my head, because I just find it like absolutely fascinating in terms of how you both feel in the day, in terms of when you turn up, like your responsibility and stuff. Is it like relaxing for you in terms of knowing if there's another photographer there and videographer there, you're just like, well, we're just the third option here in a sense. Not a third option, sorry, but like, how to put it?
We're not setting up shots.
That's what I'm saying.
That pressure is almost taken away from us in that sense. We're not directing or asking a couple to pose or anything like that. So we are in the background of that. That's not to say that we haven't done weddings where we've assisted with that,
of course,
and joined up with the photographer. You know, couple of weeks ago, you know, the bridesmaids went AWOL, and we're running after bridesmaids going, come on guys, we need to get these shots done and things like that. And the photographer was like, oh, this is amazing.
It goes a long way for a photographer, like,
especially
doing that.
who's kind of riding solo.
Yeah, definitely.
There's another 2 pair of hands here who are coming together to say, look, let's look at this. And you know, we've also at times gone, you know, we've been taking a shot and then they've come behind and took that shot as well, and we've been like, how gorgeous does that look? So from our experience, you know, we have worked so well with media teams since we started, and have been welcomed with open arms. Really, there's not one photographer or videographer who we've had any kind of resistance.
Do you know what? We spoke about this at the Allegazon, didn't we? Because I didn't know. I didn't know how I would be, that it would just be like, well, obviously here you are. Do you know what I mean? Like, same for yourself. Yeah. But I thought with some of these like photographers who's just been around for like forever, who can't understand the evolving like presence of a content creator at a wedding day, which I can clearly see coming a mile off, like how that would have went down. But you said that it was just. That's a problem.
That's
we haven't had any experiences up to now where like the photographer or videographer has been resistant. No. But like you say, you know, the landscape is changing, the sentiment is changing as well. That's not to say that videography and photography is getting left behind. It's just that people are now interested in this other medium
100%.
Of content creation, which is almost instantaneous. You're receiving that content within 24 to 48 hours.
So speak to us then about that then, because I think what we've pictured up at the moment is that you turn up with not pro bodies. So what is it you typically use, like smart? Can you call them smartphones? People still call them smartphones.
I want to know this, because this is what I'm curious about. Is it your own personal phone as well that you use?
Yes, I want to ask that.
At the moment it is.
But then
I was going to say, like, what happens in terms like your battery and stuff like that? There's so many, like...
listen,
you just walk around with a little wire on you. Proton packs.
Do you know what? I'm not surprised we don't turn up with a jetpack, because we are that equipped. We've got power banks, gimbals, drones. We've always got that contingency plan in case, you know, the phone dies or the gimbal needs charging.
So we do come with equipment, and I think that's another thing to touch on, really. Like, it's not just us just turning up on the day with an iPhone. Yeah, we do shoot on an iPhone, but there's so much that goes on beforehand. Like you guys, you'll have a consultation call. We have a mood board meeting, you know, a couple of weeks before, just to run through the timings of the day. We're always checking in with our couples. So, you know, there's a system in place. It's not just us turning up going, hi.
Because I think that is the assumption of some, is that like anyone could do that. You know, anyone could just turn up with the phone. But no, you've obviously spent time and effort to like draw out a line in the sand where normal people stop and you fit into place, don't you?
Yeah, of course. We have a contract in place, you know, we take deposit, you know, so there is...
It's not just
it's a full end-to-end process.
Yeah, of course.
And then what can people, like, in case people haven't seen what you offer, what can people expect back? So obviously you get them a load of, I guess, photos and videos on your phone.
It's just photos and videos of videos
and stuff like that.
It's photos and videos, and essentially it's me and our Nick that turn up. So it's kind of 2 for the price of 1 in a way. But we would, you know, be chop and change throughout the day. So
one's videos, one's photos.
It's predominantly videos.
It's predominantly videos. Yeah,
but what you social media engagement is based around videos mostly. Isn't
mostly, yeah. But what the couple would receive essentially is a bank of content. Of photos and videos, all unedited, raw footage, and then from that bank we would then cherry pick and create the reels from the videos, not the photos, of course. Cool. So within 24 hours you would receive, depending on the package, but hundreds of both, and then the following 24 is when we close the curtains and we are literally editing for hours on end, and then that's when they would receive those reels.
The next question I'm going to ask you is, I know you're probably just on a roll there and I've just interrupted you, so do
no,
go on.
And they're curious, what do you edit on?
So we're on CapCut. But we know there's
laptop.
On our nifty MacBook Pro.
Yes.
So yeah, we edit on CapCut and we send via Dropbox, because we've found through trial and error as well that when you're sending, say via WhatsApp or email, it reduces the quality of the content. So anything that we can do to mitigate that, you know, that's what we're going to do. So yeah, we send via Dropbox, and then they would essentially receive that Dropbox folder, and it would be live for 30 days.
Yeah.
And then they can save that content onto their phones or their laptops. And essentially with the raw unedited footage, they can create their own reels as well. Yeah. You know, you can then use that footage how you want to. You can use the photos. You can have a lovely photo frame in your living room. You know, like it depends. But so depending on what package, you would receive the content and then a certain amount of reels as well. And
it's all geared towards social, isn't it?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yes and no. And I think the conversation that we had at the Isla, it's ever evolving, isn't it? Right. So what we don't want to do is if there's people that aren't, you know, they don't use social media all the time, it doesn't necessarily mean that you can't have a content creator, because like we've just said, you can utilize that footage how you want to. So it's
having those videos on your phone as well to keep it. You know, we have got couples coming up who aren't on social media. We had a wedding a couple of weeks ago where the groom didn't want to be on social media, so you know, that's for them.
Definitely,
it's to be able to look back on their phones to say, well, we don't want to post it all over social media. I didn't with mine either, but we'll go on to that in a little bit. It was just for me. So I get that in that sense. So yeah, it's not just, I think that's the idea around it. Oh, it's just for social media. It's just to put all over Instagram. It's not.
No.
It depends. If you want to, then yeah, you know, we've got couples who want to put it on social media.
It is fascinating, isn't it? Because it's for me, I thought it was like, what is the service and what does that service provide to you? But it's the other way around almost, isn't it? Is what is the service and what does that give me from the portions?
It speaks to people in different ways.
Yeah. And I think it's who you are would determine how that speaks to you, because obviously my interpretation of it was very different to like what it actually is, which is true.
Because we've got couples that, sorry to cut you off, but we've got couples that, you know, are very big on, we want to do, you know, the trending TikTok choreography. Right. Then we've got other couples that are just wanting more that documentarian style of content. And then, like Nick said, we've got couples that say, we like what you're doing. We've either seen your content through a friend, but we don't necessarily want to put it on social media. And then, you could watch it on your laptop. You could watch it on your phone.
How do you film it then in terms of portrait, landscape?
So predominantly portrait, but we are wanting to experiment more so with landscape as well. And, you know, it's just utilising the functions of the iPhone, which now,
they are amazing, aren't they?
Got box like, to be fair. It's doing my head in almost.
If you listen to the podcast,
I don't have an iPhone, by the way.
What everyone else does.
I don't have an iPhone.
If you've got an iPhone, you'll get like
an Android.
How are we phone or whatever.
Google phone I've got.
But even
shout out Google.
Shooting in, you know, taking photos in Pro Raw on an iPhone, which essentially kind of emulates what an SLR can do as well. So, like these iPhones, they're good.
They are good. They are good.
Do you have to have like the latest iPhone then?
Not really.
No.
So what is
Pro Max? 14
at the minute. We will, you know, we'll always look to evolve and better our equipment, but you know, the capabilities of the 14 Pro Max, I mean, it's on Instagram what it can do on our page. So you know, we'll always look to what is the latest phone, what's the latest.
Every Apple event used to us at there.
Every keynote. How you utilise the phone. So it's you know, anyone can shoot.
It's still a tool, isn't it? It's like for us, isn't it?
Again,
the camera is not necessarily. You don't have to have the latest, greatest, up to date. Yesterday's released camera. You just have to have the camera that works the best for you and how you use it
and how you utilise.
Of course.
Yeah.
And you know, anyone can pick up a phone and go and document a wedding, but I still think there needs to be an element of creativity.
Definitely.
You know, an eye for the detail, you know, which we feel we have both got when we are shooting. When we put that together, you know, it is like, wow, you've caught that moment, whereas someone might have just been like that on the bride. We've caught, you know, the blinds flowing in the wind, you know, because it creates that gorgeous, you know, cinematic feel to it.
Lovely.
So yeah.
There you go. Well, before we go, because I want to make sure that we're getting everything in.
You want to cover everything.
We want to keep it in like a lovely order as well. So we'll come back to all the stuff about questions around like how people are getting and stuff like that. But what I want to know is, which I was even fascinated to find out just a few minutes ago, the origin story, because it's actually only very recent.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know, because it feels like you've been around for a long time.
No.
So go on. What was the origin story?
Okay, so...
Where did it all start?
Where did it all start? So, I was...
Way back in 2020.
Yeah, I was originally a 2020 bride, getting married in Cyprus. Obviously, you know, COVID came along and stopped all those plans. We rescheduled for 2021. Again, COVID was still around, so we stopped all them plans again.
You bloody shout out COVID.
So
bloody Rona.
Yeah. So we put it off until 2023, and in that time along came twins. Yeah, which was a bit of a shocker.
You had twins?
I've got twins.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Shout out Sophie and Sadie.
And my little boy Charlie as well. I've got a little boy Charlie, who's coming up to 7. The girls are 2 next weekend. So yeah, twins came along, so we were like, oh, okay, wow.
Holes again.
So we got there in 2023, and originally I had a videographer on my list, but obviously times changed.
Names.
Budgets changed. I'll do a few shout-outs to the insight. Well, I got married in Cyprus.
Was it all your... Sorry, I know I'm just...
No, go on.
Were your suppliers...
They were over there.
They were from over there.
Yeah,
okay.
Like
they're based over there.
Were English. It were amazing. So yeah, we got there last year, and originally had a videographer, but unfortunately, you know, having 2 more kids come along at the same time, budget needed to be stripped back, and with COVID and everything else, which I was gutted about, because I did really want those memories in film, almost. So I spoke to RJ, who I knew was amazing. I captured kind of the behind the scenes stuff anyway, and he was like, yeah, I'll capture loads of stuff for you.
No pressure, Jay.
No pressure, Jay. So, but then sort of only a couple of months before, I was on the Facebook pages, Cyprus Brides Facebook pages, and seeing this wedding content creator starting to pop up, and I was like, what is this? Like, this is new, we've not come across this before. So started to look in it a little bit more, and I was like, okay. And it was really new. Like, this has only really kicked off in the last year.
Yeah.
And it was new, so got in touch, and I was like, okay, you know, it's a lot less than I was going to pay a videographer, and between RJ and this content creator, you know, hopefully I can get all these memories captured. So we booked that, and you came along, and yeah, that was where it sort of stemmed from, wasn't it?
The seed was planted then.
The seed was planted, because what RJ produced, as well as the content creator, we were like, you know what, this is amazing. Like, there's something missing here.
In the UK.
You know, in the UK, you know, we've not heard of this before. And there is a community of content creators out there who we've obviously became aware of now that we're doing it.
A lovely community as well.
Is it,
yeah, we need to shout out the wedding content creator community. In the UK anyway, and I'm sure it's the same, but we have a Facebook group where we can share ideas, we ask questions.
People put, I can't do a wedding at this point, is anyone available? And I'll pass you Instagram details. So it is a really
sharing insights, like community. It's a very inclusive community.
You're like the starting point, aren't you? You're probably the next
Definitely.
Forever. You know, really. This is probably like when photo forums started popping up on Facebook.
I remember.
You know, where you share referrals and stuff like that. That's what you're describing now, but just for a totally brand new medium.
Yeah,
it's true. It's on WhatsApp as well. We're growing.
Yeah.
We're gonna be on
look at our knees.
I do recall though being at a wedding and like speaking to, like, you know, guests when they come over and they go, what camera have you got? And they're interested in what you do, and you probably get it at times where guests come over to you and go, well, what are you doing? Like, you can't your phone and stuff.
Yeah, with the gimbal as well. They're like, what's this phallic object?
and I've had it before where I've said to like guests, I don't think it's going to be long until phones are going to be replacing what we're using. But then it's that whole debate, like, no, because what the phone can do can't do the same type of thing.
No.
But it's only a matter of time.
It's here now.
Technology.
It's already here now in a sense that user capturing it. The tools are different, what I mean by that. But the actual, what you're creating is probably not far off. Not, obviously the quality might be different or whatever, but even the storytelling aspect of it.
The awareness of how the story is told is... I think most people have kind of got a slight grasp on the way that people can tell a story more cinematically by doing things like transitions or whatever like that, or like how to frame something up with, you know, rule of thirds or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, people's general awareness of the world is better now, isn't it? Because of social media and its growth. And this is obviously now the next step in that obvious trajectory, in my opinion.
I just want to touch on before when you mentioned about not having a bad experience, because I find that really not eye-opening. It's only because I've came across some absolute divvies of photographers in the past. Not as much anymore, because thankfully I get to work with the same type of people because they recommend us, or vice versa. And I just think it's really nice that you have had that opportunity to come into the industry. If you have only been going for like 6 months, did you say before?
Yeah. We've been so welcomed into the industry from not just photographers but videographers, you know, decor companies, you know, everyone has been
every supplier
so
that you've basically been across.
And it's been amazing.
It's been lovely. I think what we will say is that we are, you know, we approach every situation with sensitivity, in a sense that if a photographer's already been booked for a wedding, we'll ensure that we reach out to them and introduce ourselves and introduce what we do. And how do we fit in? What cog are we in the wheel? Essentially, so now with photographers and videographers, we know that they do hold precedence in a wedding. So we're there to capture the behind the scenes moments. So we always like to reach out to them first and foremost and say, you know, hi, we're brother and sister.
Stress that.
In bold.
But ultimately, you know, we're looking forward to working with you, but also we're not there to get in the way.
Yeah.
You know, we're there to work with you to ensure that both of us walk away with the content
what we set out to do.
Yeah. You know, but I think in a way we're all there, and I always say this, we're always there to do the same job, in the sense that we want to get as much content, as much coverage for the couple, so they've got memories to look back on. And it's not like, we're the same as you, that's why we get on so well. And I'm already just listening to you speak about what you do and how you approach today. I want to do a wedding with you already.
Yeah, can't wait.
It is all about the approach.
It is that.
It is
Get us
all about
involved in your package, please. We'll do content creation.
It's going to be I don't know,
Watch this space.
Defo.
Roll and memory box Sky. See the package now.
But no, honestly, because I just feel like that's how I view the day, and that's how Beth views the day, and I know that's how you view the day. Beth looks half a kip over there. You're all right, love?
She's still in holiday mode, isn't she?
Yeah.
Was that flight home bit of a tough one, love?
She's still poolside.
Yeah. 2 hours ahead, so it's like nap time by the pool.
Pina colada time.
Someone's been on holiday. But no, getting back into your origin story, because we don't want to like really overlook it too much, because obviously within that 6 months, and I said this just before, your growth and I guess the acceptance of growth from like the outside world and people's awareness of what kind of creators are and what they can do on your wedding day and stuff like that, it's just been, from what I can see, quite explosive. Which
I mean, we've been doing bits.
Yeah.
We
have fingers in every pie.
We do, but again, that's you know, networking has been massive for us. To network and authentically network as well, building those real relationships. And you know, we've got great relationships with, you know, shout out to Brides by Natalie, who you know
Nat and Adele,
amazing,
big fans.
They are honestly.
No need for them, by the way.
They are.
We literally met them, and then we all had a group hug at the end, didn't we? And it was like,
I was like, I don't want to leave this church.
When are you coming back for a wine? And
we did that, didn't we? Exact same.
Honestly,
but we said the exact same thing to them, and I feel like this is the same synergy with us and some of pretty much every guest that we've had on so far. Every single one of us have the same approach to the day, which is that it's not necessarily directly to the end client, but to each other. The way that we work is very the same, isn't it? You know, obviously we've all got the full intentions of getting our brides and grooms the best day that they can possibly have, but our awareness of each other's skill set and abilities and like not want to step on toes and stuff. We said the same thing to Natty, said the same thing to Beth, said Steve knew it already because he's in our world, Mimi Bell, they're all the same, aren't they? We're all very much in this same pot, and we all just need to know, you know, how we
who's
sit.
doing what. And
but I really wanted to know, or I wanted the people to know, because I know, where did Bridal Sky, aka title, because I said this to you, your branding was lovely, very eye-catching, very clean. You probably forgot, but I was very impressed.
Okay.
And I just want to know where Bridal Sky came from and
where
where your whole structure of how you look.
I'm just going to let him take credit for it.
No, not at all, because we were kind of... We didn't really know what the name was going to be, so we were mood board meeting our way through,
which was a family affair, which includes our mum and dad as well.
Love that.
Who are obsessed with the business as well, and our
shout out your mum and dad.
Shout out mum and dad.
Shout out mum and dad.
And my husband Ian as well, who champions us all the
time.
Well
played, Ian.
He does.
But yeah, it was just going back and forth, and we were like, this. We were like, we love it.
But then they would,
love it.
Yeah, because it was like Skynet or just very generic.
Isn't that on Terminator?
Oh God,
yeah.
Skynet.
It is. Yeah, subliminally. Very. I don't know. We weren't set on a name, and then I don't know how, but me and my dad were in the car. And we're driving to town, and it just came to me. I went, Bridal Sky.
Slam the brakes on. Dad, I've got it!
No, it kind of happened that way. It kind of happened that way. I went, oh my God. And he's like, what? I'm like, Bridal Sky. Because it's a play on, because we've always had the drone.
Yeah.
And, you know, I took the drone to Nick's wedding, and I was like, I want to have a nod to the fact that we don't just capture from the ground, but we also capture from above as well. So I don't know, it was just one of those things that came to me, and I said, that's it.
That was it.
That's the name. So I called Nick and I went, Bridal. I don't even think I said hello. I said Bridal Sky.
I was like, yep.
That's the main name. It's been took on Instagram. Music sold it before she even got told. Check Instagram account.
Literally. So
I love that though. I love that it's almost found you rather than you finding it.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what a lot of people tend to. I know I struggled with it loads when I was trying to think of a name. Still now, because Josh wants me to change it every day. But like sometimes your name finds you rather than you find it, and then you can't take you away from the love affair that you've got with that title.
Why have I been thrown under the bus there about your name?
No, you haven't. But you've mentioned to me about branding and how it looks and stuff like that in the past, which I'm on board with, by the way.
No, I love your name being Roll and Stop.
But people don't understand the story about it.
But then there's a proper story behind it, which I don't know whether we've already discussed on the podcast.
We will on another one.
We did, and we ended up cutting it. Remember
that?
We did an
episode about us and our origin stories, and then we fucked it up.
I think that's so interesting. Honestly,
we will do it. We will do it.
Definitely,
I think it's because we put a little bit of ourselves, like, you know, breadcrumbs all the time.
Yeah, no,
rather than do like a full.
You do need a full episode because people are interested.
We say without any intro post, which we do need to hold our hands up and say, there has been lack of. But this
I was looking for an intro post to use.
This is the intro post, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We will get around to that, but just going back to the name. So yeah, Bridal Sky. It just like you say, it came to us, and then it's the way the business is going is that we have weddings, but then we're also capturing events for your baby showers, you know, your 40th, corporate events as well. So then that's when the name Sky Disco came about, which is
exclusive or what?
Well, yeah, a little bit. Well, it's been there, but in the background.
Is it a sister? Like
it's like it's sort of sister. Yeah.
It's the sister.
Love those family themes used, don't you?
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
Which needs some TLC.
Yes.
It is on Instagram. But you know, we're very cautious that Bridal Sky speaks to weddings.
Bridal.
As soon as you say
we can't turn up to a 40th as Bridal Sky, although we have done.
Yeah.
But again, this, like with you guys when you started out, it's all a work in progress,
isn't it?
And we thought, let's just dive in, and we don't need to have all the answers at the moment. Let's just, see
that's boss
how it goes.
that you've already got that awareness. We said the same thing to Lucy the other week. How rounded her brain was around her and her businesses.
That was an amazing podcast.
For the same, brilliant podcast. Amazing. We were blown away by her, weren't we? Yeah. And she was only 21.
Yeah, I mean, I took all the inspiration from her, and I'm like 10 years older than her or more.
I just put myself to bed that night like that. Why does she know so much? But like, even to have the awareness of how far you have come in a very short space of time with you have basically hit the ground running, haven't you? And you know that there's such a long road ahead.
Yeah.
Hopefully is what you know.
I think you've got to hit the ground running, and you've got to take out every opportunity that you can, and that's where, although we were doing weddings, these other opportunities came about to shoot a 40th or to do promo videos for a business, and we were like, why not do it all? Because in a way, you're unconsciously refining your skill set. with...
You're so eloquent with your words, you know. I've been...
So much
giving
better
you
than
a
me.
I feel myself at the time to think of a clever word now for this.
But do you get what I'm saying? Like, if you're doing a promo video, you're working out, you can shoot a photo in Pro Raw. So you're just kind of uncovering all these different...
It's just like what we are. We're always learning, aren't we?
You're always learning. Yeah.
And I think if anyone's out there who thinks, I don't need to learn anymore, you're fucked.
Oh, yeah.
We've got so much
you're at the end of the road.
So
do you know what I mean?
We've got so much to learn. Like you say, we've only been doing this for 6 months, and we are just, it's trial and error, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And like we said before, I think it's about, we've taken every opportunity that's come our way.
Yeah.
You know, despite being a mum of 3 who like is juggling everything
superhero
massively. You know, I left my job full time. Well, not full time. I was doing part time, but just decided, right, if there's a time that I'm going to do it, it's now. And I just left, and I've started doing this.
I think that's boss for people today, because how can anyone make a decision like that off the back of COVID, which everyone's heads was rocked with anyway, but then having new kids, and then like your family, and so much risk involved, I guess, to make that step is like so bold.
Yeah, financially as well, you know, you don't just make money when you start a business, you know, you have to build it. Of course,
you
have
to generate it.
But, you know, it was at a point where I thought, this is impacting on my family life, the type of job that I was doing. I'd done it for a really long time. It was kind of in the background anyway, in my mind, like, do I want to do this forever? And then Bridal Sky was born, and I was like, oh, is this the universe saying take the jump?
Is your time.
So I took it. And you know, it's paying off, you know, slowly, but that's okay. You know, we want to take it slow. We don't want to, you know, what we say all the time, we don't want to be the victims of our own success in a way. We want to learn, we want to take them opportunities and learn.
Yeah.
And keep moving forward. And then, you know, hopefully this does become something.
I think it's already there, and you don't even know it yet. Yeah. And I also think as well,
I think so,
what you've just said, and obviously that involves you in a way as well, because you're a team in a sense. Obviously, I don't know whether you've got another job at this moment in time, which you won't go into, you don't want to.
No, I haven't. Right now, I'm not working.
Okay.
Yeah.
But even still, though, the fact that, like, I always find it, even though I took the jump years ago when I was starting off, and Beth took the jump a couple of years ago again with myself, I love more than ever, and Matty is the same who produces the podcast. He's not here today. Matty, we miss you, love you, enjoy.
Hello, yeah. Poor Beth.
And same for yourself. I've witnessed. I was the first one out of all of us 4. Let's say. No, but it was. When the minute I took the jump, and I felt that, like, and I don't know whether you can say it so that people who are listening can vouch. You can vouch with me on this. You just feel determined, let's say, to make something be successful. When you've got another job, and I said this to you for so long, Ryan, about it. I've got a full title. They're not even right. Ryan. It makes you want to drive to be more successful, because if you've got another job, essentially, you're sort of just you're comfortable, and you're happy, just, you know, just plodding along with what, you know, I've got that on the side.
I'll do them 3 weddings
on the sides.
Yeah.
When realistically, as you said, when you're stuck in a job that you don't want to be doing forever, and the on the side one could be the best job. It's what you won't even call it a job. It doesn't feel like a job, because you're on your own time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I can work around my family life now. You know, I'm not paying extortionate childcare fees because I'm set to a 9-to-5 job, and we absolutely love it. Like, working a wedding for me is like my dream job. And I don't ever want it to end. And
it won't end, I don't think, because I think just from speaking to you for the past half an hour, whatever it's been, 6 months, and you're at this stage. Obviously, I don't want to discuss how many weddings you've done or anything like that, but I want to hear how your first wedding went, essentially, because obviously 6 months down, you'll be able to remember your first wedding. What was it like? Because obviously, I know your one was like your first wedding, essentially.
It was.
As a girl.
In a way,
It's unconsciously, you know,
subconsciously, you didn't
even realise that it was your first wedding.
Yeah.
Mine was. But our first...
Well, I done one of my own.
Yes,
at the Bombdale Church.
Which was
good start.
Amazing.
Boss place.
I remember the girl who was getting married, I worked with her a couple of years back, and I think I just messaged her and said, "Are you getting married today?" I think she put up a story the day before.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah. And I went, well, me and my sister are starting this business, and I'd love to come along and just capture some content for you. And
on the day?
On the day.
You asked that question on the day?
I messaged it in the morning. I messaged it in the morning, and
phone on charge.
What do we do?
I messaged it in the morning and was like, Sarah, can I come along and just take some content? And God bless her, she's so lovely. She said, yeah, why not? So I just turned up and had no clue what I was doing. I just had the gimbal and was, taking the content. And Ginger Beard Weddings was there as well, who was really receptive. He's a really lovely guy. And that's how, the first wedding, I was just, kind of winging it. As
in the deep end, essentially.
Yeah.
Deep end, but then in real time, figuring out what to do and what not to do.
Where to be, where to stand, what's the best.
Where is he?
Yeah.
And, let's make sure that I'm not in his shot. And ultimately, we ended up being side by side. And the high that I got from that wedding replaces any high that you can get, because I remember, I remember getting the train back to me mates, and I was like, I absolutely love this. I just love it.
You can't class it as a job. We were the same when we first done ours. You come home, because same for us. I don't know if you charged this friend or what, but for our first few weddings, we were doing it on a freebie essentially, and we were just like, people get paid to do this.
I know.
We were pinch
to go to a party, essentially go to a party.
Be a guest
on the
camera.
Happiest day of someone's life. It's like you say.
And you get a buzz from capturing them moments, because you know how much they're going to value them afterwards. So as you're behind the lens essentially, or looking through the monitor, you're going, oh my God, I've just got this moment here. I can't wait to show them. But
exactly.
It's rewarding, isn't it?
Yeah.
I say that all the time. You live off that euphoria. Sometimes you feel drunk, like you've been at the wedding, don't you?
Yeah.
Because of the way that you feel. The adrenaline.
Twitching and things like that, because like you say, the adrenaline's pumping.
We're like duetting, aren't we? We're singing in the car. It's just, there's
sing now, go on.
Oh no, please, you'll start doing a cappella and I can't.
But also I think, realising that with the reels as well, so you've got all this content, and then I remember saying to Sarah, what song do you want me to overlay the reel with? And we ended up doing a David Bowie one, but seeing the content marry up with the song as well, I was like, I love this. I love doing it.
You've almost created a piece of art in a sense, haven't you? Yeah, that, and when you get the feedback from that, which you guys will know from your couples,
it's invaluable.
It is euphoric, because you're like, wow, we've done that happened, for them, so But
and then when you got married and you got your content back essentially, did that give you the idea then to be like, not like you're going to steal the idea because it's out there and you've been in forums and you're in a good massive community of people who give their ways of delivering the films back and stuff, but when you got that stuff back, was you just like, that's it, that's just nailed on now for us to...
I think the reel that I got back for me was sort of when my dad came in to see me for the first time, because that is a moment that I'd waited for so long. So to have that in a film format as well as photographs as well, and you can feel the raw emotion from it, I was like, wow, that's something that I'm going to cherish forever. You just can't...
You'll watch that and repeat all the time, won't you?
Yeah, and I do, and then obviously my children and, my husband and things, and family and friends, but I got that back within 48 hours, or maybe it was a bit longer. Don't forget, this has only just started out, so people have refined the skills by now, but I was in my wedding bubble when I received that. So I think that's another thing for, content creators when they're providing the footage. You've just been married 2 days before, you are still in that bubble, and then you're getting all of these reels, which are so emotive, and looking back on these photographs, and I think that's key as well to maybe what we...
Well, I said this as well.
On the topic of this, we do the next day teaser.
I said this to them. It's like we on purpose do a next day teaser, don't we? Because we know that you are in that bubble, and it's probably the time where the iron is its hottest. Let's just call it that. Yeah. We know that yesteryear, all these photo video people have always you got to wait 3 months, 6 months, a year, whatever it might be, to get your stuff back, and then by that time you're just I forgot I got married now. So we purposely make sure you get something next day at the within convenience, next day, later that night possibly, but always gives you something almost immediately because it is so important.
I think it's important as well from like, obviously I can only speak on our end of it, Beth, but I think it's nice when you do like the next day teaser for us, and then like a few weeks later you get your trailer film, and then like a couple of months later
keeps it in the loop,
keeps
your bubble going.
Yeah, definitely.
It's that like you're waiting for that next like parcel to come, but each time you're getting like you're getting a more extended parcel of like what basically the coverage is from like a film point of view, our end. And it's probably similar for you. Like the next day they might get, I don't know what they get back, like 1 reel or 2 reels or something, and then is it like the next 24 hours? I don't know.
It depends on the package, but within we aim for.
Tell us your packages then. Go on.
Well, we are about to have a little tweak on our packages coming up, because obviously with things sort of taken off the way they've took off.
He's a flying.
We need to have a little, and again it comes back to learning, doesn't it? About what your capabilities are, what can you provide, and but we are going to look at offering other things in with those packages. So I don't know if we want to say our packages now. They might change, and we don't want to kind of.
When this goes out, I think
what I would say to people is if they're considering getting used, they probably get yours now before their packages, because we say this, don't we, about like. Obviously, most people year on year will change because, like they say, they learn or they know what the landscape looks like or whatever like that. So get using now before you cost 3 times as much probably next year, because that's how it's going, in my opinion.
Speaking about packages, I know we don't want to go into too much, but then just from my end of the stick, I'm planning a wedding, aren't I? Not.
No. No, I'm not worried for you, Beth. We're worried for him.
Worried for me. That's a good point. What's the coverage then of the day? Do you turn up like a few hours before ceremony, stay till first dance?
We're quite. It depends on what the couple wants, essentially. Yeah. But just going back to the packages, I don't mind talking about them.
Oh yeah, I mean,
it's only probably the amount of reels that we're going to tweak. But
is it? So it's down to reels, is it?
Yeah, probably, it's not even really down to pricing at this moment in time, because we want to be affordable for what we offer and the equipment that we use. Right now, that's not to say things won't change as it evolves even more and more, but it's down to probably the amount of reels that we do.
Yeah, that's probably what will change.
When you come to the reels, is it down to like, for example, is it like 1 reel's age reveal?
Yeah, it can be. Yeah, so we try and do at least one of the reels will be the highlight video.
So like start to end.
And Instagram have actually extended the time for reels, so it went from 90 seconds up to, I believe it's like 2 minutes now.
Is it?
Yeah, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. And then so you'd have the highlight video, and then they kind of go down in duration. So then not all 8 reels would be a minute long.
No.
What's
So some of them
average?
So you'd have like a minute long, and then with the diamonds you'd have 2 1-minute videos, and then you'd have 2 30-second videos, and then 2 15-second videos, and then 2 5-second videos, say.
And they're just like snippets from like the day.
Snippets throughout the day, so it could be the bridesmaid reveal. It could be it could be the bride reveal to the bridesmaids. Yeah. It could be.
It depends what they ask for as well. Yeah. What's important to them. Yeah. It could be the dog coming down the aisle. Yeah. Things like that, and focusing on the dog, for example, or
whole montage of the dog.
Just the dog.
All 8 reels, please, of the dog.
Isn't it? Or just focusing on the children, or if there's an elderly relative going, you might want to focus a little bit on that. So I suppose it's like you guys really, when you put it out to them, like what's important to you. Then we might put a reel just around that.
Speaking of reels, music, do they choose all the song choices as well?
So in the mood board meeting, we'll say give us like 4 or 5 songs that are reflective of you. So it could be you as a couple. So it could be
first dance
song. What are you walking down the aisle to? What songs remind you of your first date? Anything like that is a reflection. And then we'll use
Sex Bomb Tom Jones.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is that yours?
And then we'll use them, or we'll use them as an influence for the songs.
I've got a question then. So when you're putting these things together, is it all kind of like, like an original thought of yours, or do you spend a lot of time on like what's popular / trendy or whatever, and make reels around other people's templates, or do you like create everything original?
We create everything ourselves.
Yeah.
I think we've probably missed an opportunity there with trending audios, but for us and like yourselves, main focus is that the content that we're delivering is a reflection of that couple.
Yeah.
So if we overlay that with the trend and audio, it kind of
joint package
doesn't align.
Yeah.
You know, like we want to make sure that that song might be, you know, their nan's favourite song, you know, or the song that they had their first dance to. So
which doesn't always tie into what Instagram's popular, isn't it?
And we're fine with that.
Yeah.
Use a suiting to your couples in the sense that like it's personal to them. It's not about,
that's it.
You're not trying to sell yourselves in that sense. You're saying to them, listen, it's your wedding day. I'm not going to force what I think is trend at the moment, so it like suits our marketing strategy. It's more like what's personal to you. Obviously, if you wanted to, realistically, you could just change it.
Oh yeah, we could. Some of the reels could be with trend and audio, but it makes it more exciting as well, and it kind of you know, each experience then is so different because some couples might want more. It might be like a boho feel, you know, with like acoustic music, or some couples might want 90s. Yeah. So it creates that variation, which is
it's really more emotive for them as a couple to watch their wedding day memories overlaid with a song that means something to them. Rather than just.
But what I will say is, after the 48 hours, I never want to hear those songs ever again.
You just get like that, don't you?
Constantly.
These have like certain couples that songs remind them of that couple, no matter where we are.
We're the same.
It happens all the time. Whose wedding song's this? And that's what you do, don't you, all the time?
Quiz, isn't it, Beth?
Like a little quiz.
And it just
whose
songs
that?
And on and on and on.
It's actually it's nice though, because there's couples that are introducing us to new music as well, and it you know, it's. I'm always listening to songs and singing in the shower, like to the point where I'm annoying.
You're bigging yourself up here, Jay. I think you need to.
I'm waiting for it. I may tell you, I'll have
I'm not saying I'm singing in tune, but like, you know, I really do enjoy that.
Comes out.
I do enjoy that part of the process of using the songs as a baseline for the reels.
Yeah,
lovely, beautifully.
But we were just talking then about, obviously, you are like brother and sister. You're very similar, I feel, even though you're very different at the same time. But we've just touched on there off. You've got like a little uniform, haven't you? Because you've got the same trainees.
The merch.
I see your trainees.
I mean, the trainees.
Sponsored by New Balance.
New Balance.
They're looking for a shout out.
Are we all New Balance?
We are.
I'm New Balance, yeah. We're in the team.
You're the other one out, Josh.
I know.
Still living in Yeezys.
Yeah.
Still stuck
yeah,
on
the
socks.
New Balance were just like pure accident, to be fair.
Yeah. Pure accident. You bought them first. And then I think, shout out Vinted. Because that's where they're from. But no, we do.
You have a logo and an emblem, don't you?
We do, yeah.
And there is a story behind the hoodie as well, because when we first started and we rocked up to one of our first weddings, just sort of dressed in normal clothes with an iPhone, everyone just thought we were a guest.
Yeah.
Just taking content.
Did you dress like as if you were a guest, or did you just like dress comfortably?
No, just dress comfortably. So I think that
because
was even worse.
That's worse then, isn't it? Because if I was a guest, I'd be like, these isn't even fucking dressed.
Exactly.
Because they wouldn't know. Because you're just so like, you know, you've only got a phone. That's the one way to say it. But I mean, you've turned up with what someone next to you might have at that time.
I mean, we do have a gimbal.
I know. I wasn't downplaying you.
Yeah. No, it's okay. No,
what gimbal is it? DJI one.
Yeah.
DJI.
Osmo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you had the silver one, didn't you? I don't know the actual name.
I had the crappy version.
Beth's just destroying
the gaff over there.
She wants to get involved.
Yeah. But that's the story behind the hoodie. Really.
Well, I think the balance, it's striking a balance, isn't it, between being kind of incognito and not
looking like a guest.
Yeah, being incognito and not looking like a guest. So we just went for all black, but I think in summer...
Stage black is a perfect.
Yeah.
I wear a lot of black normally, not today, obviously.
Yeah.
Josh has got the uniform on there.
Black.
Yeah.
We need our t-shirts for the summer, don't we? Because, we're sweating.
We do, yeah. Sometimes we're sweating buckets.
Especially when we're on... Well, we have a little boogie at the end of the night.
Do you get involved, yeah?
Of course.
No, listen, very professional. And like you know, drinking-wise, no. But we were just saying when we done the... shout out to Dan and Gary's wedding at the Palm House we done a couple of weeks ago, which was insane.
It was.
Amazing.
I feel I've seen it on your socials.
I have seen it.
They had like
looked unbelievable.
Brides by Natalie.
I think for me, I seen our like whole world in like that one weekend, because we've seen them and seen news, and then news you were coming here, but they've been on before. I was like, oh, now look at all our little kids here.
Yeah.
It's true though, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's,
I'm not far off your age.
I know, don't be like
What
age am I?
Don't
what
age am I?
I'm scared now. But yeah, so but we met up with Jane Barry.
Yeah, Weddings by Jane Barry.
Who was the photographer, who was amazing, and
So
we
sound.
literally became best mates by the end of the night, and we were on the dance floor having
a ball.
Having
You
a ball.
proper snide off.
Yeah.
I thought that was...
Oh,
yeah,
no,
another
you're
wedding.
I know, yeah.
I'm only messing up. I'm just trying to make it humorous, you know.
He does that every wedding I go to. He gets a cop on, so I can't like. It's like
You
we're
can't
married
make
to
me
him.
mate.
Cheating on me with all these other photographers.
Yeah. I go to him. I was with
All the
these
side
yesterday, and
pieces.
he's like,
I think on that as well, you know, we can just going back to caption content for the photographers and videographers, because you are so busy behind the camera
We
that
struggle
it's
to get it.
hard to get content
Yeah.
of yous actually shooting.
Yeah.
And you know, it aligned really well with all the weddings that we've done, but even with like Jane Barry, like we've done like the confetti shots, and it's nice. Sorry, I'm rambling here. So
Like
you have to edit
Speaking of
this.
confetti,
Speaking of
I'm sure
confetti.
you've,
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah, but I was going to do that at the end.
Right,
You've
okay.
ruined it
Right,
now.
leave it at the
You've
end.
ruined
No,
it.
we'll come back. Don't do it. We'll just cut it out and come back.
So you know, it's nice to we can create reels where we've got our content and then it marries up with like the photographer's photographs
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
That's good.
So
it's
like
like
the confetti
consistent.
shot. Yes. So like with the confetti shot, we've got the moment versus the shot.
photo.
So
Nice.
our content.
That's what we're all
and then-
dying to get, aren't we? Because
Greg's good at doing this.
Greg is very good at
Shout
that.
out to
I think
Greg. He is really good at
Greg
getting behind the
Burnett,
scenes.
GB Wedding
Oh
Films.
yeah.
Oh,
big
yeah.
fan.
Big fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
Um,
fan as well.
But that is so true as well, and it was one of the big one of the underlying reasons why we started this, wasn't it? Because it's so full on for us on the day that it's hard for us to get us, like who we are, how we approach the day, our personalities and whatever. And this is why this came about. But if you've got you guys there to lend a helping hand,
Yeah.
it saves me trying to. I take pictures of these all the time, by the way. I'll
Yeah.
just put this out there now.
And they end up on the album.
Right under the bus. Right under the bus. I take pictures of these all the time. A lot of Beth, to be fair. I think, she's more photogenic than you, no offence.
I know, it's a bit harsh, that, you know what I mean?
But like, I take loads of photos of these, and like, obviously we get videos and stuff like that. And there's some of me dancing with like, what's his name's mum?
Can't believe Ashley and Chris.
Dancing with her mum, and like
You should be ashamed of
nans
yourself
everywhere
that
and stuff like that. I
stumbled
know.
on their name.
Sorry, Becky, you're still safe, girl. I'm still with you. But yeah, but having another pair of eyes to kind of like almost not take the weight off, but like to be as a team that you can do so many things at once.
I was gonna touch on the confetti because I know you've said it. So I was gonna envision how you capture that. I know it's going around the world. I know we're gonna probably die. I'm definitely gonna get you on again.
Yeah.
At some point.
There's always a part two.
Because
Yeah,
there's always a
I
part
hope
two
so.
to the
I hope
podcast
so.
because I
Yeah.
think there's so much we can talk about in a little time basically. But I just wanted to touch on this from a film point of view. I love capturing the confetti shot.
Same.
Cause
Probably the
just-
favourite moment.
It is probably one of
The best
my
one,
favourite moments as well. But how do you position yourselves in that sense? And do you have to change your settings on your cameras for this? What on your phone even for this?
So where we would be stood is either behind the photographer or
Don't you stand by side by side?
or,
with them?
Yeah.
side by side.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think with the farmhouse, because
Yeah.
there's two of us, it means that either Nick can stand next to the photographer and I can stand behind and get that content.
Yeah.
Or
I always love that. I always say to you, don't I always love that behind.
that,
the,
Yeah.
that's
That's like the
I'm
Greg
so
shot though,
intrigued
innit?
by that
At
as well.
Yeah.
Castle, he's like the walking behind shot.
Yeah, we've seen that as well
Yeah.
with Greg and the other photographer, and it's lovely to see that process of them
Yeah.
because it's a skill.
It
Yeah.
is,
As
isn't
well
it?
to
Yeah.
not fall over.
Yeah.
But essentially, yeah, we would capture it on. I'm just trying to think of what the phone setting would be.
It depends how you edit it.
It
Do you ever
depends how you
slow,
edit.
are you going for like a
Slow.
slow-mo for that part basically?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the confetti shot at the Palm House, we definitely we lowered the speed and then
The frame rate and
the
stuff like
frame
that.
rate was like the optimal one to
Yeah.
make sure that it's clear. So yeah, we would essentially edit it in CapCut and slow that down because it's nice to kind of elongate that moment
Definitely.
in a way
Yeah.
because it happens so quickly.
It's the most
doesn't it?
emotion moment of the day as well, because you've not got people just walking and laughing and cheering and whatever.
Yeah.
You've got the sprinkling of the confetti. Slow down that confetti. I think that's where I lose sometimes always to videos, because you can't get that right in photos sometimes.
I think
Videos
from-
just speak it so much
Yeah.
easier.
I always think from a photo point of view, I'm not just saying because I don't know because I'm not a photographer, but I always think that there's probably one or two shots you get from that whole moment that look great,
Yeah.
and the rest is probably just
Wash of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
But on a film,
Yeah.
it's nice
Yeah.
when it's
Yeah.
like
It's lovely.
hair in the face and
It's
whatever
in
it is.
time. Yeah.
And
you
with,
know,
with Dan and Gary is so what I loved about that shot is that so they're both walking towards the camera and then Dan stops and Gary carries on walking and you can see Dan go, Gary,
Getty,
come back,
Yeah.
Real.
and then they kiss.
That's
and I'm
real.
like, you can't replicate that.
Yeah,
No,
and we
you
don't
can't.
want to edit that out
No.
because that is who they are. And even on the first dance, I think they butted heads at one point.
Yeah.
But we kept it in because it's
Defo.
something to go, oh, you know, first dance of all times. And, you know, it was amazing. But, yeah, I think...
I love the fact that you've just said that because I think the style of videographers we are, and same for yourself, is when it comes to weddings, people have this thing where they think it's just always going to be perfect and they always envision it a certain way, and I always think it's great when they've got the likes of us suppliers on the day who are just like, when the moments happen, like
that's
Dan
what
and
makes
Gary
it.
is
That's
it,
what makes
Yeah.
the day.
you've got to just like embrace it. You can't like sadly
It's the moments that we look forward to as well, I would
Yeah.
say.
sadly,
Yeah.
we go to weddings. I'm not naming any weddings that we go to, but sometimes I've seen it so many times where they can't enjoy the day because they're too
They're just
conscious.
overthinking it.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
overthinking it. And sadly, them imperfection moments where it's a little bit like, oh, just done that, they see it as a negative,
Yeah.
not as a positive, and
And-
laugh it
and
off.
We have that on the roller banner, don't we?
Yeah.
Here, which you would see in Isle of Gladstone, perfectly capturing those
Imperfect moments.
imperfect
And I think
moments.
that's for me. If me and Beth ever get married, they're the moments that I'd be looking forward to the most. Being like, how boss is that? Because it's more authentic than anything else you see on the day.
Yeah, most
You know what I
definitely.
mean?
Yeah.
And I think, you know, even just coming back to weddings in themselves, people are moving away, I think, from those really traditional weddings. I don't know if you guys are finding it. Like,
we
our
we
couples
think
this year,
for us, we're moving away from the way photos and videos were.
Yeah.
So we already see that from our world. You're seeing it even more, like times 10, probably.
Definitely. A lot of our couples, you know, they're cutting out the wedding breakfast or
Yeah,
they're doing it how they
No
want to do
first
it.
dance, no cake.
And I'm like, yeah, I
Black
love
wedding
that.
dress, the lot.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
And I think just to round it up before we go on to doing question time, it's
Get that jingle ready, Beth.
I think it's nice to as you've just touched on then, saying people doing it their way.
Yeah.
I'm all about that.
Yeah.
I love going to weddings and I can't wait to work with you hopefully soon because again that'll be new for me. But I just love when people do things the way they want it.
Yeah.
I can't emphasize it enough.
We always say it, don't we?
No.
Don't overthink it and just do it the way you want to do it because in years to come you'll regret not doing what you wanted and doing it for everyone else.
Yeah.
Couldn't have said the best of myself.
So a little break before question time.
It's question time.
You can't not do that ever again. No.
That was the lens
That
every
time when
time.
she looked at it.
Right. Are you ready for this?
We're ready.
Quick fire.
Feel free to answer them
I'm
as
ready.
much or little as you want.
Oh, okay.
They're not like, first one, which is, I know you touched on it, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What equipment do you use? iPhone 14 Pro Max?
Yeah.
Yes. So iPhone 14 Pro Max.
2 or 1?
Two.
Two.
Okay.
Yeah. DJI gimbal. Two.
2 of them?
Yeah.
The DJI Mini 3 Pro, which is the
Nice.
drone. DJI.
Shout out DJI.
Sponsored by DJI. I'll be sending them this.
Yeah.
And we've got DJI microphones as well to record the speeches.
Power banks.
Yeah. DJI
Yeah.
power bank. No, we don't have DJI power banks.
We
and then-
essentially have a set of equipment each because we're not always together when
Of
we're
course.
shooting weddings.
So
We
one, you
could
go
be-
like that part of the morning.
Yeah.
you do part of the
Exactly. So
Yeah.
we've got two iPhones. We've only got one drone. And one microphone, but 2 iPhones, 2 gimbals, 2 power banks,
cables galore.
cables
Yeah.
out of our ears.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right then.
Shout out Apple and DJI.
There's a question of my own, and I've just answered that quickly. Who's the drone operator?
Me. Yeah.
That's it. Move on.
Although I've crashed it a few times.
Yeah.
Josh is
Yeah.
actually a sound J on drones.
I'm a Josh.
He is actually a really good.
What have you got?
okay.
What
Even though I've crashed it.
Yeah, same.
But mine
was
was.
the rite of passage?
Have you out of sight crashed it?
Going sideways. Didn't have object detection.
Well, mine was the same, but mine was out of. I fly a lot of my drone shots out of sight, so
Yeah.
I can just sit on a bench and I'll never look at it.
Yeah.
Are you the same?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one time up in the air, I just go with that and just play it as like a Game
Yeah,
Boy.
because it's on the screen's on the RC, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And mine was the same, but mine landed in water.
Oh no.
And it survived. On a wedding day, I went and got it out the water, put it into the hairdryers, and it survived. And I still use it now.
You didn't put it in rice?
What's your
No,
story?
I didn't have a chance.
You crashed it into a tree in Coldstones?
Yeah, in Coldies Park, and then I ran into the Reader Cafe and was like, the drone is in the tree. Please, someone help. And then, so I'm stood there for like 5 minutes, and then a man comes out with a ladder and a pitchfork.
No.
And I was like, please, not this apparatus. I just need something else. And he's like that, trying to get it out. And all I'm thinking is, and I can't say this because he's helping me.
You're damaging the drone.
Please do not damage the lens.
Drone.
Please do not damage the lens. And then it fell out.
You can change and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, she's still with us, our Shirley, isn't she?
Yeah.
Shirley?
Our
Is that the
Shirley.
drone's name?
Our Shirley. Yeah.
Oh,
You
got
gotta
a
have
name
a
after
name.
this.
Name your
Is
drone.
yours DJI as well?
DJI, yeah. It's a
Air 2.
Air 2.
Air 2.
Yeah.
We'll have
Still
to
boss
play
that.
Quidditch.
Yes.
Let's do that.
You're not a
Wait.
Harry Potter fan, are you?
Wait! Have we just turned a corner?
Oh, we are.
Fucking hell. Do you not know? Have you, obviously, if you've listened to this podcast, you'll know that he is the biggest.
No, we can't
Harry
say
Potter
biggest.
fan.
You can't say that. Because you put me under...
To me, for
Okay,
people that
yeah,
I
yeah.
know,
That's
the
why
biggest
I
Harry
leaked
Potter
it.
fan ever.
Yeah.
Are you a big Potter fan?
Well, I mean, so more Lord of the Rings.
See, this is the thing, isn't it? So
It's
how
one
old
or
are
the
you?
other.
I like Lord of the Rings.
30.
Right, so I'm 29. So around that growing up phase, it was
either
Lord
or.
or
Yes.
Potter,
Yeah.
weren't it?
Yeah.
You probably shorten them.
Lord
or
or
Potter.
We're mates.
So real Potter fans call it Potter. Don't even call it Harry. Just keep that,
Right.
that in the loop. Potter fans.
Keep yourselves to yourselves.
Sorry, we're off topic there.
Next cue.
A lot of these questions of what we've already asked, so I feel like we should just...
I've got a question for you then, because I was wondering this, and I think I've asked you this before. When you're on your journey, let's just call it that, and obviously we know the apparatus that you're using at the moment, does it get to a stage where you stop using, because I think I said this to you on the Allegotham day,
Yeah.
do you stop using phones and start to use cameras, but then does it take away that you're then not what you originally set out to be? Do you know what I mean? Like, when do you stop becoming content creators and start becoming like photographers, videographers, if you use a different equipment set, or what?
We spoke about this before, haven't we? And I think
Because that's a progression, isn't it?
Of course, yeah, and definitely for you, Jay, you wanna.
I think it's like a
eventually.
two-pronged answer.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a two-pronged answer because like with
Have I
wedding
just found me
content,
few second shooters
I
here?
think
Go
we-
on.
with wedding
Stepping
content
into it.
creation, we want to.
You don't know what's coming after this, by the way.
Yeah.
We want to keep it to iPhones,
Yeah.
Androids,
To keep the rawness.
to
Yeah.
keep the rawness.
Yes.
But we have been talking about like your promo videos. So we've got a couple of promo videos that were in in talks with businesses, and we're like, do we graduate to more of like an SLR? But
An
again,
offering.
we're not in the know of what that would be yet, but we're just kind of having that conversation around for anything a bit more like corporate and like promo
Yeah.
as such, would we then move to a camera? But right now we're happy with what we're doing.
Yeah, because people are buying into that, and
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
they want. I think you start moving away too much, and then you start to forget why you
Yeah.
started.
Yeah.
And for us, and for
That's
me
what
as
I
a
was
bride
thinking.
who's had a content creator,
Yeah.
both within RJ and someone over in Cyprus, that's what I bought into at the time. So I want to almost stay true to that as well. Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Lovely. Very nice.
Any more cues?
I just lost my thought because I just thought I'd love if you'd ever wanted to step into coming to help us film a wedding and hold
Yeah?
Would
a
love that.
miller's
Wow.
camera.
Wow.
Sony.
Look at me, I'm tearing it. I like.
Yeah, we'll tell you why.
mic.
We'll tell you why
me
off
and Beth
air.
will take over. we'll be the team,
Excuse me.
and you guys can slot in.
Oh, thanks.
So obviously a lot of these questions are like what we've already spoke about. What's your turnaround time? So it's like 48 hours.
Yeah.
48 hours.
I'm answering for you. So I feel like I know
Yeah.
what the
I know,
script is.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're hired.
How long are you there for on a wedding day? It's all about the packages, ruby, diamond, and pearl.
Pearl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beth.
So each one is different. What is your favourite event to capture?
Events.
Weddings.
Or weddings. Yeah.
Yeah, weddings.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Everything's amazing though. Like we say, we've done baby showers, and that in itself are gorgeous moments, aren't they, to
Yeah.
capture between family and friends. But the wedding day timeline
I've got a question.
for me,
It's most fun
it's
as well,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, and seeing the progression of it. and then what you can produce after it from start to finish is so rewarding for us, isn't it?
Yeah, and seeing people like loosen up as well throughout the day.
Yeah.
Not, I don't mean in a sense of like getting drunk, but
Letting
just
yourself go.
feeling more relaxed.
Around us.
Feeling more relaxed.
I say that. I do say that.
Because you walk away with like Adele and Paul's, the bridesmaids there, they were lovely.
Yeah.
I mean, Adele and Paul were lovely as well, but like you're making
Your bridesmaids were better.
You're making these connections throughout the day where you're like, oh my god, that could be your mate.
No, you do. You do have mates. We do it all the time, don't we? You've mentioned it in another podcast. The amount of times that we walk out of a wedding, probably same for yourselves, and you end up thinking, oh, I can't go without saying see you later to them now, because they're like your little mini mate on that day, aren't they? I seen a bride and groom whose wedding I shot last year at Saturday's wedding just gone, and was talking to her and went, right before us going to anything else, how's your dad? Because me and his dad were like on fire on that day. We're like proper best mates.
And they're your biggest supporters.
It's important to
you know, our couples previous have been our biggest champions in terms of sharing us on their social media, leaving us feedback all the time, engaging with our posts. They champion for us. You know, there's quite a few of our couples now who we would class as friends.
As friends.
Yeah.
Good.
I think that as well for you, and it sounds terrible saying this, but I think when we like started off doing it, the first few weddings you'll remember more than ever, because they're the ones who were watching your journey, you know, from start. Yeah. And now where you're going to
they're your foundation.
So they're basically your, like, as I say, they're your fans now.
Yeah,
forever.
they are.
And they're going to talk about you when you're like, wherever you're going to end up. They'll be like, oh my god, we had them at our wedding when they started off. We get it all the time when we're at weddings. And
that leads me lovely onto the question that I was going to ask, which is where you end up. So do you have an envisaged
where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Do you have like a full-on plan
talking about this question
how you want to expand, or like he's going to bring on other team members? Obviously he's going into different areas, I know that, but what does like the next 2 to 3 years look like for you as a company?
I think for me, I would love to have a team of content creators.
Jibbed.
Who? No, including RJ.
I think you've got it already.
Yeah, well, yeah,
it's
here we are.
There, isn't
this is it, yeah. Is this an exclusive? No. But who, for me as well, it's all about like inclusivity, in that every wedding, it's not your traditional wedding, and this is something I'm quite big on, that it's not always the white dress, you know, the really traditional...
Man and woman, it can be woman, man and man.
Exactly. You know, there are alternative weddings out there who want to wear a black dress, and it might be like a
Day of the Dead theme.
Gothic theme, Day of the Dead theme, and I would love to capture them weddings as well. Yeah. You know,
I'd love more of them myself.
I would absolutely love it, and I think if you could bring team members on who maybe have a niche in certain areas, who, you know, that's their thing, that's what I would love, to that there be more inclusivity in the wedding world as well.
So love that.
I'll probably double down on what Nick's saying as well. It's just like it'd be good to have a team of us.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we would like to scale up.
Yeah.
Wouldn't we?
Definitely.
And it would be good, you know, for Bridal Sky to be up and down the country, and destination weddings. We'd love some Lake Comos. We'd love some Saint-Tropez.
I think it's there though. I think from an outside, like, even just speaking to you now, I know from like, but we're all in the industry, but I just know like what yous are doing right now. It's demand. Yeah. Like I think they want yous there, and I think just people who are listening to the podcast, getting to know yous more and more, and like your outlook on things and your approach to the day, I'd be biting your hand off to be at a wedding, because I just think, why wouldn't he want you there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice to say.
That is
Thank
so
you.
Nice.
Thank you.
It's a triumph. It's truth. It's a truth, and genuinely, before the podcast, and even when you met them for the first, met you both for the first
instantly.
time. My whole thing was just like, how do they like fit into the day? And I couldn't really get my head around it, because I thought about it this morning, like asking you questions, thinking, what do I want to ask? Because I am proper, and I'm still fascinated and interested in, and I want to work as more than you know, in a creepy way.
Turning up at the door. Yeah. We're like, we haven't got a wedding today.
I just want to film you.
Damn it over there.
Right, I'm not even working.
Go on.
No, carry on.
Come on.
Really
You were doing really well. Come on.
Please don't go on.
Come on. No, I've lost my thoughts. No,
go on.
Where I was going with it.
Sorry.
I was just basically saying, like, in a nutshell, I think what yous are doing is just as important as what we do, from what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing, and I think it's a niche.
And for you to say that,
is massive for us as
is
well.
another Pinterest moment.
Of course,
to have that kind of, you know,
it's recognition. It's a videographer and photographer saying it, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like,
it means so much to us.
It really does. A lot. Like we say, we only started this 6 months ago, so to have that recognition from you guys is massive. And like we were saying before, from our couples as well.
Yeah,
you know,
massively.
They're the most important people, you know, so if they're championing us and giving that feedback and we can share that on our social media, you know,
you're doing something right, basically.
Yeah.
More than something right, if anything. You're giving something back to someone who's going to value it forever. As you said, but you seeing your dad on that video, it just means more, doesn't
Memories, I mean, from, you know, as well, you're spending so much money, or you might, you know, it depends on your budget, but every wedding is a luxury, isn't it? You know, whether it be a really extravagant wedding or just a small, intimate wedding, it's a luxury. It's something you don't do all the time. So to capture any memory you can of that day is priceless. And, you know, if we can all come at it from different angles to have such a range of memories, well, because, you know, hopefully you don't do it again.
Yeah.
It's a but
if you do it again, we'll be there to capture it.
Here's your money.
Well, speaking of that, I don't know whether I should say this or not, but Brides by Natalie. They've sent a question in. But she was quite funny, weren't she, when she was mentioning her like previous weddings?
Yes.
It's Adele, isn't it? No, Adele. Yeah, Adele. Yeah, okay. But she absolutely killed me when she just dropped that on us, didn't she? During the podcast, we were laughing our heads off. But they've sent a little message in saying, how long does it take you to create the first reel from a wedding or event? It's similar to the ones we've asked, isn't it? But first reel, how long does it take?
Oh.
Because you're cherry picking, culling the stuff that you've done.
Takes a while. It takes a while because going back to the bank of content, there could be upwards of 900 videos and photos. So of those 900 videos and photos, there might be 450 videos.
Yeah.
And we're kind of going through them to make sure that we get those moments. Yeah. So it can take a long time. And we won't just
throw it into CapCut in an order.
No.
So
there's no CapCut templates.
No, there's nothing. It's all done, you know, sometimes it might be the beat of a song or getting that flow, getting that transition right, and that can, and you know, they're the times creatively when we can come together and go, no, that's off. Oh well, that song just doesn't feel right, because we want it to be so perfect, because people are spending their money. You know, we don't just want to throw it in. And
I can relate to this. Just you just said something there, but maybe do you edit together in the same room?
Not always, no, not always, but there have been times when we have edited together, but then RJ will send it to me and then I'll go, okay, I love it, but that's just a little bit off there.
Yeah.
Do you use clash over stuff like this? Because me and Beth, obviously in the same position here, we edit together, we obviously live together, we can't escape each other. You just have that break away from one another, but still, it's work, it's like creativity, it's like your vision, it's how you want to tell a story in a film aspect. Do you ever go, oh, I think that's just a little bit, I know you've just mentioned that, but do you ever go, no, I think that's...
Oh, definitely. I mean, we're brother and sister, so we have this...
Jay's getting out there again, we are brother and sister.
But like, you know, even at the wedding, we have this like almost telepathic way of speaking to each other. If I'm in the way, you know, in a roundabout way, she can say, piss off.
Yeah, I'll be like,
go round there. And the same with the editing. We don't hold back because we want to make sure that, you know, we push each other in that way. So if I send Nick something, she'll go, it's just missing something. And I'm like, well, what is it? What is the something?
It's been like that for like 7 hours.
And it'll be like, and she'll say, keep going. Like, you know, you might want to remove this, you know, this scene and add something else, or it might be to the beat of the song. But yeah, we can have those constructive conversations together, and no one gets insulted.
No one gets offended.
Good.
It's amazing.
It is what it is.
Questions done?
Pretty much.
Well, before you go anywhere else and before we move on to the next thing, stay there.
Oh.
Off he goes.
Oh, he's off. He's been dying to do that for a while, I think. I seen him giving me a look then, like to say, the question's done.
I haven't, to be fair.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I mean, we only came for the mugs. We only came for the mugs. Yes.
So these are like gold nowadays.
Yes.
Carl like got his, by the way.
And I'm vintage for thousands of pounds.
Carl would like to get his. Carl, if you're enjoying it, love that tea. So tastes that little bit better, doesn't it? Well, obviously, just 2 little boxes there which are for yous.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I got a new shipment of the cups in the other day, and I thought,
I only came for the mug. I'm not gonna lie.
I know, yeah.
Yeah. The
Speak
mug
to you
is like,
for 2 hours for a cup all day.
yeah.
Open it.
Should we open now?
Open it.
Open it!
What about
Pressure's
And watch your nails.
Oh, we're now. We've only just had these
I've
done.
got all mine off.
What's your nails?
Yeah.
Do you want me to open it for you?
Oh, God.
Sorry.
Oh, I love that. Can't wait to have a soy latte in there.
Soy latte?
Yes.
Now,
I just can't wait to have a cup of tea, man.
Mimi Bell pointed out that because they're black inside, you don't get any of them bad tea stains or anything like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
So we didn't think that through, but no,
Look at
there
that.
it is.
USP. Love
Yeah.
it. And for that
Yeah.
reason, I'm in.
Oh, no. But we have really genuinely really found something in these, haven't we? I think.
I am
Like,
already. I
as
feel
like
like I'm
proper
just getting
mates.
into it at the moment.
Yeah,
You know what I
and
mean?
I
I'm
would sit here for
Yeah.
another 4 hours
I know.
and,
So that's
and
why-
just chat.
We always say, "You're coming on again."
Definitely.
Yes. Yeah.
Would love to
And
come
I think
again.
we always say as well, and obviously you've probably listened to it. and we
Stop
say
playing
it,
with you, mate.
I like playing with it.
What
no
about you,
pun
Mike?
intended. I think when you're in the heart of the season as well, again, it's another nice chance.
This
to
is
see what
really
you're
your
up to.
first
Yeah.
season, isn't it?
It is.
Really?
It is.
Yeah.
Season full long.
Yeah.
But I just
Yeah.
know in the next 6 months, you know, if it goes that long until we next get you on, that I'm so fascinated to see what you're doing then, where you're up to. I just know.
Exciting.
I know. I don't even have to ask you. I just feel like I know where you're going to be
Yeah.
without even saying it. Do you know what I mean?
And we can't
'Cause
wait to watch that evolve.
Oh,
on
yeah,
socials and just like keeping in touch.
Yeah.
Definitely get you back
definitely.
on. Is there anything that you want to say before you go?
No, just like we said before, you know, we are thankful for the support and everyone being so welcoming within the wedding community so far, and you know the connections we've made. You know, we've done a few shout outs, Pure Brides by Natalie, but also just to shout out Shelley inspired events as well, because Shelley is our mate who has honestly championed us from the get-go and give us opportunities, shall we say, that we're very thankful for. So I want to make sure that we mentioned her.
Well, when she comes on.
Yeah.
Please get Shelley on.
She's amazing. She's just actually done Andex Saturday Takeaway.
Yeah.
A couple of
Definitely
weeks.
get Shelley on.
So she would be so interesting to talk to. She's amazing.
Yeah,
so
she's got a great story.
thank you to her.
You have been interesting to get to talk to.
I hope so.
You have, and I can't wait for you to even just listen back to it with your family and everyone who's who's supporting you as champions.
It sounds like you've got a lot of champions.
Yeah.
And we're now part of that group, I would say.
Oh, and we felt that, haven't we?
Definitely
we
felt it,
that.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
We've had a few mentions and we were like, oh my God, are they building us up and we're going to really fail? But I've loved sitting here today. And
Same.
And I can't wait for the next one already. But
Yeah.
I really can't. I'm not just saying it either. I can't.
And you want to say, Beth, even though you've got to talk all day?
I'm just giving you a little finger and just put it on me. Honestly, it's been a pleasure. Really. I wish I was sat on the couch.
next
You
time.
will next time.
Next time.
I know.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks again for listening and see you on the next one.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Whee!